Have you ever talked to a lawyer and just felt like you're speaking two completely different languages? It's like their brain is running on some kind of special software. Well, today, we're going to crack that code. We are going to uncover the hidden blueprint that shapes how every lawyer thinks.
We've all been there, right? You ask what seems like a simple question, hoping for a simple yes or no, but instead you get this long explanation full of, well, it depends, and on the one hand, it's kind of frustrating. But what if I told you there's a really specific reason they do that?
I mean, seriously, look at this. All you did was ask, hey, can I have the last cookie? And you get this whole paragraph. And while it's funny, it actually perfectly captures that super methodical, almost maddeningly precise way of talking. But you know what? That communication style, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It points to a much, much deeper way of thinking. All right, so let's peel back the layers here. This isn't about them trying to be evasive or overly formal. It's about a fundamental mindset, and it's one that is deliberately and carefully built from the ground up.
And here's the real key. Nobody is born thinking this way. It's a learned skill. It's like a mental architecture that gets installed piece by piece into every single law student. And it's specifically designed to replace your normal, intuitive gut feelings with a logical step-by-step process.
So, it's time for the big reveal. This whole blueprint, this entire mental structure, it actually has a name, and it's a simple four-letter acronym that is the secret key to pretty much all legal reasoning. It's time we unlocked the IRAC code.
IRAC, that's it. It stands for Issue, Rule, Application, and Conclusion. And you've got to understand, this is not just some technique for writing essays. It's a technique for thinking. It's a mandatory checklist that they run through to make sure every single angle is covered and every conclusion is built on rock-solid ground.
So let's break that down real quick. First, you have to identify the legal issue. What's the actual question we're trying to answer? Then you find the rule. What's the law or regulation that governs this? Third, you apply that rule to the specific facts of the situation. And only then, after all that work, do you finally get to a conclusion. It's a very deliberate, logical order. Okay, I know that sounds a little abstract and lawyerly. So let's make it super concrete. Let's forget the courtroom for a minute and see how this IRAC thing works in a simple, everyday situation that I guarantee we've all been in.
So picture this. You're driving around, you finally find what looks like the perfect parking spot. But wait, before you even shut off the engine, if your brain is running on IRAC, it kicks into gear. Step 1. What's the issue? The question is simple. Can I legally park my car right here, right now?
Okay, next up you look for the rule. You scan your surroundings and, yep, there it is, a sign. That sign is the law for this little patch of pavement, and the rule on it is crystal clear. No parking between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Now we get to the really crucial step, application. You've got the rule, now you need to apply it to your specific facts. So you look down at the clock on your dashboard. What's the fact? It is currently 5:15 p.m. And, well, 5:15 p.m. falls squarely inside that no parking window.
And only now, after going through those first 3 steps, can you reach your conclusion. Since it's 5:15 and the rule says no parking between 4 and 6, the only logical conclusion is, nope, can't park here. Gotta move on. See? No guesswork, no ands, probably fine, just a clear step-by-step process.
So now that you see how the mechanics work, let's talk about the bigger picture. When you do this over and over and over again for thousands of hours, this isn't just a tool you pull out of a toolbox anymore. For a lawyer, it becomes the default way you process the world.
This comparison really lays it out perfectly. Most of us operate intuitively. We'd see that parking spot, get a good gut feeling about it, and just pull in. But the IRAC-trained mind is taught to resist that jump. It forces this slow, linear process. Find the rule first, then apply the facts. It's designed to filter out gut feelings and rely only on what's written down.
But like anything, there's a trade-off. This way of thinking is amazing for creating clarity, consistency, and being super thorough. It's all about avoiding risk. But that strength can also be a weakness, right? It can lead to being rigid, it can sometimes stifle out-of-the-box creativity, and you might even miss a totally new solution because it doesn't fit the old framework.
And this gets us to the absolute core of it. Why do all this? It boils down to one word: defensibility. In the legal world, every single argument you make is going to be challenged and picked apart. So you can't just say, I think this is the answer. You have to be able to show your work.
Every conclusion has to be like a fortress, built on the solid bedrock of a rule and specific facts. And that is why lawyers don't just give you a yes or no. They give you the entire fortress.
So why should any of this matter to you if you're not a lawyer? Because understanding this blueprint is actually an incredibly powerful tool. It kind of demystifies a whole profession, and it gives you a brand new way to think and communicate more clearly yourself.
Seriously, think of this as your own IRAC toolkit now. The next time you hear a legal debate on the news, you'll be able to spot the issue, the rule, the application. If you need to make a persuasive case at work, you can structure it this way. You can use it to break down any complex problem, anything, into logical, manageable parts.
Ultimately, you basically have a decoder ring for a way of thinking that shapes so much of our world. It's not some secret lawyer handshake anymore. It is a super versatile framework for clear, logical, defensible thinking that literally anyone can use to their advantage.
So, there it is, the legal blueprint, laid bare. It's a powerful architecture for thought that prioritizes logic and hard proof over instinct and intuition. So the only question left is, now that you have the keys to the code, how are you going to use it?